Yo, frizzy hair to the max today. I'm doing a reacting to dreadlocks on Reddit, man. Follow us on reddit.com/r/notnation if you haven't already. It's a great place to come and drop your YouTube, your pictures, your questions, anything about freeform locks. It's our community. There's only about 1,600 people there, so it's pretty small, but we're tight knit. Or I guess you could say tight knot. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what's happening here. Yo, Daisy Dementia, week 77 freeform lock update. Looking good, actually. Now, this is like the ultimate in confidence boosting, is rocking your hair like this, because to a lot of people, this is gonna look like a rat's nest, a bird's nest, whatever. You're gonna probably hear a lot of people talking down about you on this hair choice and this hair lifestyle. But with you sticking to your guns and sticking to your truths, it's gonna be easy to bypass the haters. And just knowing in your heart that the journey that you're on right now has multiple stages, and it's not gonna look like this forever. So, you know, this may be whatever, 2 years, almost 2 years, a year and a half in. Wait until another 2 years from now, these are gonna be looking really phenomenal, and they would have cleaned up themselves quite naturally. They will gain length, they'll tighten up, the loose hairs will tighten up as well. So keep up that journey, girl. You can see on her locks how much frizzy and lumpy and clumps and a whole bunch of shit going on here, making her locks pretty unique. What's crazy to see is the wispiness. It's almost like half of her lock is still wispy, the other half is locked up. The shrinkage is real here. Progress check. These are looking pretty cool too. Looking freeformed or crocheted? Crocheted, I can't really tell right now. Okay, definitely looking freeformed at that picture there. It's got some pink and some blonde bleach in there as well. Rocking the headband, it's a good look. It's a good look. When do you stop sponging with lock cream, aiming for the updo taper look? Where to section like Cam Newton? I mean, you could stop sponging with that cream right now and separate as needed when the Congos start to show up and try to form them like Basquiat or Cam Newton, but it's gonna be next to impossible to really replicate that kind of look because your locks are individual to yourself, right? So just learn to appreciate what you got and don't compare yourself to other people's locks. It's the worst thing we can really do. Just love the locks that have come to you, God willing, right? 21 months freeform. Love the natural shit. Lumps, loops, Congos. I know what you're saying, man. Looking real natural. It's a nice Congo there. It's even turning out flat as well. That's fire. High top freeform locks. About a month after a retwist. That's a lot of growth. That is some fast growing locks right there. And then this is the retwist. Reminds me of Gunna right off the bat. Honestly, I like this look a lot better. I do like to see that you've got this XXX Tentacion hairstyle going on with the braid locks, the fishbone locks. Looks good to me. I know most of you are lovely and humble, but to the negative ones, I say I couldn't give a flying feck. What do you think? If anything, I was more upset about being targeted about something that I was just being positive about. But hey, can't have it all. Can't have it good all the time, I suppose. Gotta trot on. It's like F the haters, man. This guy's saying basically he's just trying to do a positive thing for himself, for his confidence, for his lifestyle. And he's just upset that people are nagging on him for doing that. It's like, people need to learn how to appreciate other people's lifestyle choices, you know? Stop trying to control people and give critique where it's not asked for, essentially, right? So big ups to you for sticking to your guns here, man. That's dope. What up? Yo, those are dope. He's making their return. Still very loosely coiled, but they are coming together. Stay dedicated. Only 3 months and the Congos are showing up. Goes to show how fast our hair wants to come together. Separating, you know, technically isn't natural. Our hair wants to come together thicker and thicker and thicker. Getting some length within 1 month there. Definitely noticeable. I love the way your wicks have turned out. Not your wicks, sorry. I love the way your Congos have turned out here. They're looking magnificent. So nice. Woo! Crazy. Looks like he's going for that wick look. They've been crocheted together for sure. After seeing the wick lady had 48 locks, I started, then I doubled the down to 24, and now we're at 15 total locks. Jeez. I love that people are getting less and less dreads these days. I like the way your locks look right here too, kind of before the Congos happened, before the wicks happened. My lumps have been cut since you so graciously shared me on your clumpy compilation. So here's a slideshow update. 4 years separation only, but now I'm dropping that routine as well. No more separation. Looking wild. A lot of loose hair still. I can even see some braided hair in there as well. 4 years, eh? And they're definitely matured at this point. And for you to make this choice to now stop separating at 4 years in, you won't regret it, because your locks are gonna start to transform and evolve once again, creating bigger, thicker Congos now. So it's really good to allow those Congos to come into play. Danny Smart back once again with the most epic starfish freeforms I've ever seen in my life. Love these locks. I regularly get asked what I did or how I got my locks. The most common comment is that they aren't like most Caucasian dreadlocks formed from straight hair. What makes them not so different? What makes them different? I guess because they look relatively thick and coarse. Yeah, I see what you're saying. His hair type looks like it might be a type 3 of some sort. Well, I mean, all you can really do is keep on going with what you're doing. We got a timeline of locks here. I love when people submit a timeline. So we start off here with the baby growth, the afro dread stage. Moving in, we're seeing some little locks starting to form up, maybe from just twisting with his fingers. And then the afro, the beard's coming into play. Starting to see some more thicker locks forming on the sides of his head. And it's just like basically the dread fro. My favorite part of the dreadlock journey is definitely the dread fro. You just gotta stick to it, man. You'll make it there. Just over 9 months, semi freeform, and loving it. Love how they are gaining in some thickness, which I didn't think would happen with your hair type. Yeah, thickness will happen as long as we don't separate our locks. They're always bound to thicken up. They're getting pretty long now, but I have to ask a question. Someone who doesn't have locks asked me, why don't people with dreads have to trim them for them to grow, like cutting split ends off of normal hair? I was not sure what to tell them. It was a new question I didn't really have an answer to. I love the way your locks are looking, super blunted. And the reason why we don't have to trim our locks from split ends is because the split ends will just form into the lock. We still hold all of our hair that has shedded or should have been trimmed. It's still within the lock. So it's almost like a natural trimming, like it sheds naturally, you know? So that's why we don't have to do that. What we really need to do is stimulate new growth coming from the scalp. So we do this by keeping the area clean. You can massage your scalp to boost blood flow circulation in the area. This will also help to create new growth, but really it's just a patient game. Just be patient. The locks are gonna form, your hair is gonna grow, and everyone's hair grows at different speeds, so don't rush the process. Crazy dreads, all different, each one unique. Hey, that's what's up. Danny Smart's back. Feel like I might have seen these ones now. This dude's back. Haven't done much, lots of natural regrowth on the locks. However, the hair in the front grows so slowly. Yes, it's thinning. Not sure if I want to attempt to lock the front with small locks, shave it off again, or just let it grow and keep it loosey-goosey. I would just keep it loosey-goosey, man. It's definitely, you're still definitely rocking that unique hairstyle. You could also just try free-forming the top, but I love the, it was like the mullet, right? You're the one that did the dreadlock mullet back in the day. I'd be interested to see how your locks look wrapped up on top of your head, around your crown. That could be a cool look. Look at these Congos, they're crazy. So he's really just got the back of his head locked up. I mean, another option is to add extensions to the front of your hair, the top of your hair, but I wouldn't really suggest that. About a year in, one front Congo just added new color. Yo, this colorway is nice. Purple, blonde, turquoise. I don't fuck with the dyes myself, but I like to see other people doing it just because I mean, it's almost like art, you know, it's almost like a piece of artwork. I always gotta suggest that, like, dyeing your locks is damaging. Don't overdo it, and it can be very easy to continue to do something like this. Just remember, less is more on this, right? These are 9 months strong today. These are just ridiculously fire, ridiculously locked up. These are amazing. Holy moly. 9 months only, and he's got such a unique set of locks already. Now, let me remind you, these are not gonna stay like this. These are gonna change and evolve, especially after just 9 months. Wait for another 9 months. They're probably gonna look a lot different than what they are now. Longer, thicker, they're gonna start to drop down. That's why I always say to appreciate this stage, because it doesn't last forever. And quite frankly, it was my favorite stage in the dreadlock journey. Versus this guy with 8 months of locks. This is the same amount of time, and he doesn't have very much going on. Like I said before, everyone's hair grows at a different pace, and the effort is always appreciated. Even if you have a slow hairline, a slow hair growth, and you attempt to do locks, freeform, it's always appreciated because it's the journey that matters the most, not the end result, essentially. So just by being brave enough to take on that journey and attempting to do something like this is well noted. Someone asked me today if I got my hair extensions. Yo, that person is whack. They don't know anything. What a dumb question to ask. I like your locks though. They look good. Keep those growing. And lastly here, we've got a freeform update. Box braids, or like, what is this? This is gonna grow into some sort of Plika type dread like Rich Dunk, I swear. Like the high top just straight up. This man looks like Gunther the Great or what? It's trippy. I would say your hairstyle right now is gonna turn out to be a lot like how the Weeknd's locks were. If you keep growing it like this and you don't separate it. What I'm saying is they're gonna be extremely unique and individual if you keep this up. And I would say to go for it, because you can always separate these later down the road. So do your best to just grow these freeforms in as thick as you can right now. Separate later, you know, if you really want to separate them. That looks sick. And fade with freeform wicks, almost a year. Cool. High top, he's got the wicks done, so you know, definitely a lot of maintenance going on here. You gotta go to the barber, you gotta go to the wick lady. You can see how his wicks have been formed. The blunted tips are very evident. You can see that there's been crochet work done here. The high top, pineapple top look. It's a fire look. He's got some bleach in there as well. Looks like he's loving the journey himself, so that's the part that matters the most. Just stay lock committed, stay dedicated, and everyone that is on the journey will end up appreciating their locks so much more. I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next dreadlock review of the subscriber's kind. I'm gone. Adios.